Hey everyone! Are you feeling like you really want to try intermittent fasting, but you have no idea how it will affect your body? Today's video cuts through the confusion. We'll explore how your body uses insulin and how certain foods can disrupt this system, leading to weight gain and chronic disease. But fear not, there are ways to fight back. We'll unveil the science behind intermittent fasting and unprocessed foods, showing you how they can help you lose weight, improve your health, and feel your best. Let's ditch the fad diets and get started on a sustainable path to a healthier you. In medicine, there are a few things we know for sure. First, laughter is great for your health. Secondly, chronic diseases not caused by infections or genes are often linked to something called insulin resistance. This happens when your body's cells don't respond well to insulin, which helps regulate blood sugar. So, your pancreas tries to make more insulin, working extra hard. But too much insulin over time can lead to health problems like high blood pressure, triglycerides, cholesterol, and even pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes. Insulin resistance often comes from eating processed foods. They're loaded with added sugar and lack important fiber, especially the kind that doesn't dissolve in water. This leads to insulin resistance slowly building up over time. Cutting back on eating can lower insulin levels, but it's not easy for everyone. If you were to stop eating altogether, your insulin levels would drop a lot, which might sound good, but it's not the whole solution. Many people make New Year's resolutions to diet by cutting calories, but often they regain the lost weight within a few months. When you reduce calories intake, less food and energy reach your liver through the intestines and portal vein. The liver responds by increasing AMP kinase, an enzyme that plays a crucial role in cellular energy homeostasis, prompting the cells to generate new mitochondria and engage in autophagy, breaking down old or damaged cells. This process is beneficial, but it also causes a drop in leptin levels, leading to decreased energy and hunger signals. As leptin levels decline, the hypothalamus senses it, making you feel hungry and irritable. Additionally, you may feel weaker and have less stamina at the gym. It takes about 24 hours of fasting for leptin levels to hit rock bottom, signaling your body to conserve energy like a laptop or cell phone in power-saving mode. Another crucial point is that not all calories are equal. Nutrient-dense foods like avocados, broccoli, and salmon provide more nourishment than calories-dense, but nutrient-poor foods like pizza and soda. Consider which side improves insulin resistance and which side worsens it, unprocessed food versus highly processed food. This distinction often explains why caloric restriction diets fail after 2 months. Processed foods disrupt hunger hormones and provide less fiber, leading to less satiety. Therefore, this approach isn't sustainable. What about intermittent fasting? Instead of limiting calories, it limits eating time. It activates similar metabolic processes as caloric restriction, but without plunging leptin levels too low for too long, making it a less challenging option. Instead of calorie restriction, we're focusing on restricting the time window for eating, allowing essential metabolic processes to continue. With intermittent fasting, there's less risk of drastic drops in leptin levels. Think of it like this. During fasting, metabolic processes lead to the production of ketones, similar to what happens in a very low-carb diet, like keto. However, this can sometimes lead to a medical condition known as starvation ketoacidosis, where ketone levels in the blood become too high, making the blood more acidic. Whether you're practicing intermittent fasting or following a ketogenic diet, these metabolic processes occur, resulting in the production of ketones like beta-hydroxybutyrate. As long as ketone levels remain low, it's generally safe. It's when they become excessive that risks arise. However, reaching dangerous ketone levels through fasting alone is unlikely. Studies indicate that fasting for 16 hours a day can result in beneficial low ketone levels. These benefits include weight loss, improved blood sugar control, reduced inflammation, better stress resilience, anti-aging effects, enhanced memory, neurological improvements, lower rates of heart and cardiovascular diseases, and even a reduced risk of cancer. Remarkably, these outcomes can also be achieved by consuming unprocessed foods. When insulin resistance is absent and insulin levels remain low, various dietary approaches such as intermittent fasting, a very low carbohydrate diet, or consuming unprocessed foods, individually or combined, can have positive effects. In these scenarios, insulin sensitivity increases, meaning cells become more responsive to insulin. When leptin levels drop due to fasting, they signal hunger to the hypothalamus, prompting feelings of hunger. However, insulin diminishes this leptin signaling, leading to reduced hunger sensations over time. Transitioning to these dietary practices typically takes about 3 to 4 weeks to yield noticeable effects. Additionally, the hunger hormone ghrelin, responsible for stimulating appetite, decreases when consuming unprocessed foods or practicing intermittent fasting, further suppressing hunger signals to the hypothalamus. There are various methods of intermittent fasting, with early time-restricted feeding being a popular and practical choice. This approach involves setting a specific eating window, such as not consuming food after 8 p.m. and starting eating at noon the following day. During the designated eating window, emphasis should be placed on consuming unprocessed foods for optimal results. This simple yet effective approach can help regulate appetite and promote overall health. Transitioning to a diet rich in unprocessed foods can significantly improve insulin sensitivity and help regulate hunger hormones, leading to more successful weight management. The recommended daily intake of added sugar is generally advised to be no more than 25 grams, with lower amounts being even more beneficial for health. When intermittent fasting and consuming unprocessed foods are combined, the fat-burning process is enhanced, especially when carbohydrate intake is reduced. Intermittent fasting and low-carbohydrate diets, such as the ketogenic diet, are effective methods for promoting fat burning. Incorporating unprocessed foods into one's diet is another powerful strategy, as they naturally contain lower levels of sugar. Exercise further amplifies the fat-burning effect, leading to even greater results when combined with fasting and dietary changes. Understanding the difference between types of carbohydrates is also crucial for optimizing health. Amylose, a nutrient found in whole intact grains and legumes, is considered the good starch due to its slower digestion and absorption. In contrast, amylopectin, found in processed foods like pasta, bread, and potatoes, is digested and absorbed more rapidly, leading to spikes in blood sugar levels. Choosing whole intact grains, legumes, and other unprocessed foods over refined and processed options is key to managing carbohydrate intake and promoting overall health. Additionally, minimizing consumption of processed foods, particularly those containing refined flour, can help reduce intake of amylopectin and support better blood sugar control. Now back to intermittent fasting. Maybe fasting for 16 hours straight and eating only for 8 hours sounds too hard. It's okay to start slow. Your body needs time to get used to it. You could start by fasting for 12 hours and eating for 12 hours. Then, little by little, you can increase the fasting time. You could try 14 hours fasting and 10 hours eating, and eventually reach 16 hours fasting and 8 hours eating. But if you feel good with 14 hours fasting and 10 hours eating, that's also okay. Your body will adjust. Just remember, it might take about 4 weeks to get used to the new routine. The goal is to make a healthy lifestyle change, not just go on a quick diet. In 2015, researchers looked at 40 studies to see how well intermittent fasting helps people lose weight. They found that on average, people lost 7 to 11 pounds over 10 weeks. This is similar to other diets where you eat fewer calories, but those diets can be hard to stick to, and not all calories are the same. So you are left wondering if intermittent fasting is really necessary. Here's the thing. If you avoid processed foods and cut down on certain carbs like sugar, your insulin levels drop. This can lead to making ketones, which are good for your health. I'm not saying intermittent fasting is bad. I do it myself. But if you already eat healthy, you might not need to do it. Still, if you want to get the most out of it, combining intermittent fasting with healthy eating can be really good for your body. But what about women and intermittent fasting? Some worry it might mess with their hormones, but we don't have enough evidence to say for sure. Animal studies have shown some changes in hormones, but we need more research on humans, especially women, to know for sure. However, adhering to time-restricted eating, such as 16 and 8 or 14 and 10 fasting windows, while consuming unprocessed foods, mitigates the likelihood of hormonal imbalances. For people who want to balance their hormones, eating superfoods known for helping can be really helpful. Things like lignans in ground flaxseed powder and adaptogens in maca and turmeric powder can make a big difference. These little changes, along with eating healthy and unprocessed foods, don't just change your diet. They also help you make long-lasting changes to your lifestyle that are good for your overall health. And there you have it. Intermittent fasting and unprocessed foods can be powerful tools for weight loss and overall health. But remember, it's about finding what works for you. Don't be afraid to start slow and listen to your body. For more info on specific fasting methods, healthy food choices, and how to navigate your health concerns, hit that subscribe button and smash the notification bell. We'll be diving deeper into these topics in future videos. Thanks for watching.